because, not worried, but just, like, I guess, unsure of what's coming, just because the weekend has gone by. I was off this weekend. For nurses, you usually work every second weekend, and so this was my weekend off. So for now, I'm still able to take that. So I was able to take my Saturday and Sunday off, which was really nice. I was able to just like rest and recuperate, which is important. But now some time has gone by, and a lot can happen in a couple of days at the hospital. So I'm kind of wondering what to expect, what things are going to be like. And like last time I was working, they were emptying out the floor to make space they were emptying out the whole hospital, really, all the floors, and discharging patients to just get ready. And the ER is doing the same thing. From what I understand, the ER is just not taking any unnecessary patients, not taking anyone who doesn't need to be there, because really the risk for them is too great. Last I was working, my floor was doing the same thing. We were emptying out beds, and it was very quiet, like in an eerie sort of calm before the storm fashion. So I'm wondering if it's still going to be that, or if it's going to have started to pick up, as I know like the number of cases in the city have started to rise. And from what I understand from the news this morning, they will continue to rise, or they are continuing to rise, because they just did a bunch of tests. I think we're waiting for the results of 2,000 tests. So our confirmed cases will rise, and certainly some of those people may be getting sicker, and to the point where they need hospitalization. I'm thinking about the supply shortage more and more, because I know that that's starting to become a problem at our hospital. It's already a problem, like, overall. We're shunting supplies to our ER, so a lot of the floors don't have the supplies, because we want them to be on like the front line where they really need them. But the reality is that we probably will run out of supplies. And I know that other places, other hospitals in Canada and in the United States are already out of supplies. Like, they're at a point where they're being told to use like bandanas. They've got no gowns, and they're being told to use garbage bags. So yeah, it's dire straits for a lot of nurses across North America right now. And, you know, it's scary to be using a garbage bag or a bandana as a mask, which is like really inappropriate and like really insufficient, and then going home to your family at night. Because a lot of people, you know, for me, I'm married and I have my husband, but for a lot of people, they have children, and they're going home they have to go home at night. Like, there's nowhere else to go. And they know that they could potentially be exposing their family. So, and maybe they even live in like an intergenerational home with older people, or people in their house who are immunocompromised. So it's a scary time. I will try to keep you posted today. I'm going to try to get some footage of like just what things are like, because I know a lot of people are not going out. So I guess I'll try to get some footage of the hospital and stuff. But again, I have to be careful when I'm filming. So I'll try to do that today. So I'm just in the elevator after today was a brutal day. So as you can see, like, everything is really closed. So like the coffee shop is closed, and like the normal exits are closed. So like normally you can get out this way, but you can't. Right now you have to go to the main exit in order to get out. As you can see, there's security at the main entrance. So some days are just harder than others, and it's like a bunch of different things. You know, today I had like a bunch of new orders, new prescriptions that I needed to fill, and in
our case, like, we don't get things right away from the pharmacy. So whenever you get a new order, you have to send a message to pharmacy, and then you have to wait for it, and then you have to always be checking to make sure that it is, when it arrives, you give it right away. And then some of the stuff doesn't make sense. Like they order it and they put it in the computer for like 12, but they know that it's going to take at least an hour, possibly 2, to come from pharmacy. So by the time you give it, it's already 2 hours late. And then you have to put a message to say, like, it's not your fault that it was 2 hours late. And then you have to change all the times I'm like walking in a snowstorm. You have to change all the times for the next person, so that depending on what kind of medication it is, you don't always have to do it, but sometimes, like, you don't want to be giving too much of a medication at the same time, so you need to change the times for the next person. So there's like a lot of little tasks, and when that happens like 5 or 6 times in your shift, it creates like a lot of like busy work. So that happened, and then I had patients going for tests, and patients coming and going. I had a discharge, a new admission, and then I had 2 patients whose IVs infiltrated, which just means that like they weren't working anymore, and they were, instead of going into the vein, they were going into like the skin around the vein. And so I had to put 2 new IVs in, which was a great success because I got them both on the first shot, which for a new nurse is exciting. And so some of the older nurses were like, girl, like, good job on your IVs. So I was pretty happy about that. So that was definitely like the highlight of my day. But I think it's going to be one of those evenings where I'm going over everything in my mind, because it was such a hustle and bustle, and there were so many things happening at the same time today, and I definitely felt overwhelmed. And at one point it was like 2:30 and I only had an hour left of my shift, and I was just thinking, like, how am I gonna even do any of this? Like, I don't even know. And I skipped my break just to be able to get it all done. And then I got it all done. I stayed for like an hour extra to chart, but it was just rough. So anyways, I'm glad it's done, and tomorrow I'm off, and I'm not back until the next day, so I have a little bit of time to like recuperate. But yeah, what a day.